It is Fleet Week in San Francisco, and KPIX 5 is proud to be this year's broadcast partner as we celebrate our service members. The USS Harper's Ferry and the USS Fitzgerald were the latest ships to sail into the bay today, and they'll be open for tours starting Wednesday. The Harper's Ferry at Pier 35 and the Fitzgerald at Pier 30 and 32. And tonight we take a look at a decades-old tradition that starts at these very windows you're going to see right here. It's the top of the mark. The San Francisco top of the mark. This was known as actually the Weeper's Corner. This is actually a window right here. And during World War II, this is where wives and girlfriends, fiancés would stand to catch the last glimpse of the military ships carrying their loved ones under the Golden Gate Bridge and into unknown danger. Before troops shipped off, departing troops also met at the top of the mark for one final drink from the Squadron Bottle. It was a tradition that actually disappeared until the 1990s when a young Bay Area naval officer brought it back to life. For Mike Hall of Pacifica, being near the ocean stirs his heart.
When I come to the beach and I smell the salty sea air and I hear the sound of the waves crashing, all those memories, all those experiences come rushing back.
Mike is a veteran of the U.S. Navy, a graduate of Annapolis. He served his country as a naval officer for more than 6 years. He shares an unspoken bond with his fellow vets few outside the military would understand.
Whether they served 100 years ago or they're going to serve 100 years into the future, there's a legacy of serving in the United States military that binds us all together.
In 2009, while on leave, Mike decided to partake in a special tradition. It started at the Mark Hopkins Hotel during World War II. Mike went to the top of the mark and asked for the Squadron Bottle. With this tradition, servicemen would buy and leave a bottle in the care of the bartender, so the next member from the squadron could enjoy a free drink. If you finished the Squadron Bottle, you bought a new one to leave behind.
The Squadron Bottle embodies and represents those bonds, that teamwork, that camaraderie that was forged at sea, as were the case.
But in 2009, Mike discovered no Squadron Bottles remained, so he bought one and left it, along with a logbook for the troops to sign.
By buying a round for people, for service members that you never know, you're acknowledging the sacrifice that they are making, are going to make, have made.
Mike recently returned to visit the hotel. He pushed the T button for top of the mark and then took a short ride up to the 19th floor. As the elevator doors opened and Mike took a step out, nothing could prepare him for this.
Oh my goodness.
In front of him, a display case crammed with dozens of Squadron bottles. On each one, a note, many handwritten, detailing who bought it and why.
I had no idea. Wow.
From Air Force pilots to infantry battalions, sailors, Marines, and U.S. Rangers, as well as the Coast Guard. Families, friends, even perfect strangers, they all bought bottles. The hotel credits Mike.
And just having Mr. Hall in here and just seeing what he was able to create that we had started in World War II and was kind of lost over time. And it's just really nice to be able to bring it back and now kind of exceed what it once was.
As for Mike's logbook,
How many people have held this and looked through it and and then added their own stories.
There are now several. Each one fills up fast.
Not just World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, everything up until our generation now.
The books are packed with stories, letters, memorial programs, notes of appreciation, and photographs of those who came home, as well as those who died serving the nation. Mike read an entry.
My father shared a drink at the top of the mark when he returned from the Pacific during World War II. For decades, he'd return and share a drink with his children and friends. This evening, it'd be an honor to share a drink with you. He'd want you to know, thank you. Thank you for who you are and what you're about. Cheers, the old Sarge, Sergeant Pat Neff Walker, via his son, Shane Walker.
And by way of the Squadron Bottle and the logbooks for years to come,
Generations will be able to read and reflect on what it means to serve a bigger purpose and to help ensure those memories are never forgotten.
And those little mementos left in those books and the bottles left there for people to have a drink with represent, as we say, the links in the chain.
Such history. Anyone can buy a bottle at the top of the mark and leave it for the Squadron Bottle collection. And any active military or veteran can take part in the tradition with a military ID. Now, the top of the mark will also have special programs to view the Blue Angels over the weekend.